Welcome to Luxon Photography. We spent the weekend with the Canon 85mm 1.2, and on Saturday I went to Hamburg to take some pictures on the streets. So let's take a look at the picture straight here from the camera. I have the Canon 6D. I always shoot in manual. I have the faithful picture style here. Let's take a look. Looks like this. These are the settings. And what else? I always shoot in Kelvin, that's very important. The white balance in Kelvin. And now I have another lens on it, so it's f2.0, but in Hamburg I had the 85mm 1.2 lens. You see it here on the top, 1.2. And I shot all these pictures with one hand because I had another camera in my other hand filming. So you will also see the videos from these shootings on our YouTube channel. And I thought we just go through these images in the camera so you see exactly how the pictures look like. Now I shoot very rapidly, so some pictures might be too bright or too dark, some probably are out of focus. This looks really nice. You see it's f1.2 with one hand, and the eyes are sharp. Now, I just got that lens from Friday to Sunday, and today is Monday. So these are the images I took on Saturday in Hamburg. I would just skip through it. These are people that I talked to on the streets. And it's always nice in Hamburg. It's so crazy how much money is on the street. You see so many crazy cars, from Aston Martins to Bentleys and Ferraris, which is nice to photograph. Here I tried some atmosphere shots to test the bokeh, and so I talked to the people on the street, I photographed them right where I meet them, and this is how it looks like straight from the camera. I always take many shots, especially when I shoot at f1.2. So let's go on. I also sometimes varied the aperture. Now I'm f2.0 to take a look at how the images look like at 2.0. But most of the time I actually shot at 1.2. Let's just skip through it. Oops. Yeah, it's very interesting what you can, what can come out of an approach. So when you approach somebody on the streets and you spend 3 to 5 minutes together, it's very interesting what can come out of it. And I think I did 10 shootings on that day, which is fine. It's not so much. I go out on the streets very often and don't film it, and then the people can buy the images, and then I take more than 10. I do more than 10 shootings a day. This is also f1.2. It's not a good idea to shoot at f1.2 when there are more than one people in the frame, but to me it was important to check, can I use that lens at f1.2? Can I use it the way I shoot portraits and how I approach photography? Can I use my workflow with that lens? That's what I wanted to see, and that's why I shot at f1.2. And I will take a look at the computer if the images are sharp or not. Some are not, some are, and so I hope that there are enough sharp images. I think these are really nice. So how do I photograph these images? I focus with the center point. I always use this center point to focus, and then I recompose, which means I move the camera slightly to the side. So what is my experience with the 85 1.2? I really like the images, and the lens is heavy and slow, but while shooting with it, even having it only in one hand, shooting one-handedly, it worked really well. I was really happy. It was not in the way, which I actually thought it would be. I thought the weight would be a problem shooting it with one hand. But it wasn't a problem. And the autofocus, people say it's very slow. It is slow when you shoot things that are far away, and then shoot things that are very close, and then again something that is far away. So when the distance is long, then the autofocus is too slow and you will miss the shot. But when in a situation like this, where the people are maybe 3 to 6 meters away from me, and that is the focus range, then the focus works really nice. It is slow, but I think I didn't really miss many shots. I took some shots of a person that was moving towards me. That was not so that was not working so well, because the autofocus of the lens couldn't catch up with the tempo the person was moving. But all these situations worked really well. Now I'm here at f2.0 to play a little bit safe. And even at f2.0 you get really nice bokeh in the background. Okay, let's just skip through some more. I always find it fascinating in Hamburg. You see so many crazy cars. An old Mustang, and next to it there is a new Mustang, and there are Bentleys, and all cars that you can imagine you will find in one day in Hamburg. It is so crazy. It is really crazy. And it's nice for photography, it's really nice. Another one. Okay, so here is a Turkish wedding on the streets. You see, I didn't go to Hamburg to photograph cars, but sometimes when they drive by and I got the camera close, I put it out and photograph. Okay, back to what I was here for, photographing people. So you see I take many pictures of the same moment. And I think these are also really nice. Now you see at f1.6. Let me just skip through it again. There is not much time setting up the camera when I do these shootings. I have about 2 to 4 seconds to set up the camera, which is actually enough because it's not changing much. And this is what you can get out of the camera straight without any editing and with very little preparation or adjustments. Okay, I shoot all these images in manual mode always. Everything is manual. We have the manual mode. I choose the aperture, I choose the shutter speed, I choose the ISO. Is it here? I choose the white balance, and I always change for each shot actually. Okay, that was the day in Hamburg. Then yesterday, on Sunday, it was raining and Anna and I went out to take some pictures with flash. I have 2 Yongnuo flashes here. One is behind Anna and one is on my side. And working with flash sometimes works well, sometimes is not working well. And here as well, we have some shots that are really nice, and we have some shots that are way too bright or way too dark. And I usually shoot in a certain style that no equipment is getting in my way. And working with 2 flashes on tripods can be a problem. It was very windy, it was raining as well. One time the flash was to fall down because of the wind, and so Anna was getting stressed, and so Now here's some natural light shots at f1.2. You see it up here, f1.2. And I really like these images. You now see a really warm color, which obviously is because of the white balance. But it was raining, it was ugly weather. There were no people on the streets because it was so bad weather. But when you photograph, you decide what you want in your photograph. You don't have to photograph bad weather. You just focus on what you want to photograph. And I want to photograph Anna in a beautiful atmosphere with warm colors, and the warm color I get with the white balance, not with the weather. You can get this color any time, any day. It's not the weather that makes the color, it's the white balance. And you see it here. I always choose it manually, the Kelvin. Okay, we're nearly finished, so let's just skip through. Now here we're at the marketplace. Now I'm shooting at f4.5, but now it's at f1.2. And it's nice working with flash, but it's more stuff that you have to carry around. And in the end you are happy because you have some different images, some different looks. But it's also, it's more work. It doesn't feel so much enjoyable. Okay, now you see how the images look like straight from the camera. I haven't selected the best ones, I've just skipped through it. Some were nice, some were off focus, sometimes the people have their eyes closed. I just want to give you a real look into how it looks like in the camera. This is all shot on the Canon 6D with the 85mm 1.2, very often at 1.2. In one hand. All these shootings I did having the camera only in one hand. So if the focus is off, that is probably right so. If the focus is on, I'm lucky. And I